watching Dante Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So we haven't heard an exchange between Devin Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis for quite some time. And all it took for them to exchange words again was one single tweet that Isaac Cruz put out. Cruz, he put out this tweet saying his goal is to face Davis again and bring a world title to Mexico City. Devin Haney, he responds to Isaac Cruz by saying, what the F is he talking about? Because Devin Haney is the undisputed champion. He has all of the belts at the lightweight division. And then Gervonta, he responds to Devin by saying, he know who is who. I mean, you do too. And as soon as Gervonta Tank Davis said that, he deleted his tweet. And we all know that if Gervonta didn't delete his tweet, Devin would have replied to Tank again. He would have started challenging him. He would have said, let's make the fight, because this is what Devin Haney has done on Twitter with everyone in the lightweight division. But Gervonta, he didn't give Devin that opportunity when he deleted his post. So after Gervonta deletes his post, Ellie Setback chimes in. And Ellie Setback, he says that Gervonta Tank Davis is the king of the lightweight division. Now, Ellie Setback is the same person who said that Canelo Alvarez is still pound for pound the best fighter in the world after he lost to Bivol. And then when Terrence Crawford said, now everyone knows that I'm the best, Ellie actually responded to Terrence Crawford and said the fans on the internet disagree with you. And when he says fans, he's including himself. But the real question is, what kind of fans are you talking about that are posting comments, responding to Terrence Crawford, telling Crawford that Canelo is really pound for pound the best fighter in the world? What kind of fans say stuff like that? That's a rhetorical question. So let's get back to Ellie saying that Gervonta Tank Davis is the #1 lightweight in the world. Now, before we even talk about Devin Haney being the undisputed champion and what undisputed was supposed to mean before Devin Haney became undisputed, let's just say Ellie truly believed that Gervonta is the best lightweight in the world. If Ellie believes this, how come we never seen any tweets from Ellie asking people, how is Lomachenko on the pound for pound list and Gervonta is not, when Gervonta is the king of the lightweight division? I guess it's because Gervonta is only the king of the division if he's being compared to another black boxer. Now listen, you could say that Gervonta Tank Davis is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not telling people that he should be ranked above Lomachenko because he is the king of the division. When they put Bam Bam Rodriguez on the pound for pound list and Gervonta is still not on the list. Let's see if we get a tweet from Ellie Setback pointing out the double standards. I mean, just think about this for a second. Not even ESPN would tell you that Canelo Alvarez is pound for pound the best fighter in the world after coming off of a loss. But Ellie Setback would say it. We know what time it is. Now, when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis telling the undisputed champion of the world, Devin Haney, that he knows who is who, Gervonta may or may not know this, but all he's doing is selling the fight between him and Devin Haney even more. Gervonta, he had already said that he wants to fight Devin Haney, and he wants to fight him if he doesn't get the Ryan Garcia fight. So right now, Gervonta is in negotiations with Ryan Garcia, and I'm really hoping that that fight comes to fruition. That is definitely the fight that he's supposed to take first. But assuming that Gervonta Tank Davis gets past Ryan Garcia, there's no other fight that makes sense outside of Gervonta Tank Davis versus Devin Haney. And that's something else that Ellie Setback should have said if he was going to go out of his way to speak on this situation. Ellie Setback has done polls, just like a lot of people have done polls on what's the fight that the fans want to see the most. And surprisingly, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia was #1 on the majority of people's polls. And I'm talking about with hundreds and thousands of votes. So how do you say one of these guys are king of the division without saying that you want to see this fight or the fans really want to see this fight? Can you guys make this fight happen? I mean, I tell you guys all the time, Terrence Crawford is pound for pound #1, the best fighter in the world. But I always tell you, we need to see Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, right? Same thing applies when it comes to Devin Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, Devin Haney recently talked about not knowing if he's going to stay at 135 after the George Kambosos fight. So that kind of rules out a Lomachenko fight, obviously, if Devin does move up to 140 after his next fight, which means the only fight that would make sense would be, once again, Devin versus Gervonta Tank Davis, because we already know Gervonta's already fought at 140. So we know Gervonta won't have a problem fighting at that weight class. So once again, hopefully the Davis versus Garcia fight gets made, because once Gervonta gets past Ryan Garcia, that obviously just makes the Davis versus Haney fight even bigger, and it will be for Undisputed. Actually, I have an update for you guys. I just been notified right now as I was doing this video that Gervonta just put up a new tweet right now where he says this. He says, "I'm cool with you having your way, just don't play." Now, and if you guys have been noticing, some of these boxers, they've been doing these what I call riddle tweets, where they purposely put out something and you don't know exactly what they're referring to, who they're talking about. And this tweet from Gervonta Tank Davis is no different. On one end, he could be talking about negotiations with Ryan Garcia. Or this message could be an extension of the conversation he had with Devin Haney, where he could actually be indirectly showing Devin Haney respect for acknowledging him as being the undisputed champion at 135. So while Gervonta intentionally made this tweet unclear, unlike the other tweets he put up earlier, this one right here, he didn't delete. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.